Not what's said to do by many Iyengar teachers, but I really feel that when this happens, everything opens up right here. It just opens up and I feel long and I can sit tall with no problem. Everything just comes right back and stacks into place. So it may work for you, it may not. Also, as Bobby said a few times in the workshop, that the knees are to be resting on top of the feet in Sukhasana, Swastikasana. And because this is semi-restorative, if you feel like the knees are kind of floating up, then pull a blanket underneath so that they have somewhere to come down into. Sit straight and tall. Slide your hands back so the heels of your hands are resting, at least the base of the thumb against that frontal hip, the anterior superior iliac spine. You can feel that blade of the bone there. Then the rib cage comes forward, so it appears forward of the upper arms, and then bring the palms together. Eyes level or even a little bit higher than horizontal. Breathe in. Exhale, soften the face. Go on like that for 3 or 4 more breaths and slightly lift the occiput. Just feel that the jaw draws back, the head comes back about 1/2 inch to 1 inch so that the center of your head, the crown, is right over the center of your pelvis. And then close your eyes completely. With your inhalations, feel the uplift of the breath straight up and then the spreading across the collarbones like a fountain. And as you exhale, keep that lift of the collarbones, the broad chest, relax the face. The eyes remain closed. Naturally roll down and look into the heart area. And we will begin with our 3 ohms, and I'll go ahead and also chant the invocation to Patanjali. You can do that with me if you know it. Yogena Chittasya Padena Vacham Malam Sharirasya Cha Vaidyakena Yopakarutam Pravaram Munina Patanjalim Pranjaliranitosmi Abahu Purushakaram Shankachakra Siddharinam Sahasra Shivasam Shvetam Pranamami Patanjalim. Hare Om. Bow your head down to your heart. Salute the sage Patanjali. Salute your inner self. Bring your hands to your legs. Roll your shoulders back and lift your head. Open your eyes. And then extend your legs out. Take hold of the sides of your right leg. Bend the knee. And then extend the leg out and stretch the leg. Press through the palm out of the big toe. So this is one way that Bobby showed us to straighten our legs. I kind of like it because you're not pressing the legs down into the floor, but it's more of an active thing. Ball mound pressing through. We're going to be working on that with a few poses today and feel that connection all the way up from the ball mound all the way into the inner groin, and you may even feel it in the back body. And then release. And then get hold of the same tendons, those tendons of the hamstrings, pull in, lift up the leg and support it. You can lean back a little bit too. Leaning back is fine. And press the ball mound of the big toe forward and straighten the leg. Open up the underside of the knee and really push through this. So focus there and extend that leg. And then bring the leg down. Now, we're going to do Baddha Konasana first. Have your strap. Make a kind of a generous, not too big, but about a shoulder width size glute, maybe a little bit bigger. And then catch the inside of each knee. Bring your foot in like this. Bring the feet together, as in Namaskar feet. And press the balls into one another, the toe pads together and the heels together. And then take your loop, or you can just use a single strap to and wrap around your hands, but I like this way because I can just put my hands inside the loop, making sure that the buckle isn't under your bones of your feet, and pull across those ankles there, pull in. And then insert your hands into the strap and turn the palms up, and then reach around underneath, and then draw the hands back to the inner groins there, and roll your forearms into those hip bones, and lift your chest up and draw your ribs forward again. You can slightly tilt the pelvis forward, but keep your sit bones on your blankets, and lean forward with the head in line with the spine. So don't jut the chin forward, but just lean forward. And then sit up tall, maintain, draw the shoulder blades down, make length between the ears, along the sides of the neck, and out to the tips of the shoulders. Now, while we're doing this, take this opportunity to observe the tension or whatever it is in your neck. And as you exhale, relax your neck. So even though the neck is long, let there be a softness in the throat and the neck. When we do restorative or semi-restorative, we're trying to access the parasympathetic nervous system, which is the calming aspect of our autonomic nervous system. And one thing it does is it opens up the blood vessels inside, both the veins and the arteries. But if we harden our neck, that kind of cuts that activity out, and we end up being more stimulated, and we get less blood to the brain. Okay, now release this with the strap, and now you can stretch your legs out again for a moment, get some blood in there, and now take your brick and insert the narrow edge of the brick in between your feet, and we're going to do Baddha Konasana again. We're working on a bit of hip opening here. So I have my feet against the brick, and I'm pressing into the brick, pressing the heels in, and the balls of the feet, the balls of the big toe, and then the whole ball of the foot. And I'm bringing my hands back behind me. I'm actually going to take another blanket, so I've got a little bit of a lift back here, and press down, lift my chest, press my feet, squeeze my buttocks together, and open up. Again, have the arms firm and lengthen the neck, but without hardening the neck. Let there be a softness there. Lift up the belly and take it back. Press the feet. Now, if you're more tight, you can perhaps slide the brick forward. It's less of a stretch of the inner groins here. Same thing if you have knee issues, right? And then bring the knees up and press down with the feet. Press down and lift your chest. And let's try the second dimension, or if you want to do the first one again, or neither one, that's fine. So here we go. And again, for me, I like this because my knees are not real happy with super deep creasing, especially early in the morning. But my groins are pretty open, so I like this one. Now, put your elbows out here and bring your hands to your ankles and draw forward. And the chin, keep your neck in line with the rest of your spine. Draw your shoulder blades down. Push the feet in. Notice when you push the feet into the brick, the knees tend to rise up. So to counter that, you can stroke out, iron out the tissue of your inner legs with your elbows, lean into it. And then release. Okay. And now roll up both of your knees and extend your right leg out. Take hold again and lengthen away. And then pick up your right knee and move it out to the corner. We're going to take this wide open Marichyasana 1. Bring the elbow inside. The hand behind you. You can take a brick behind. If you're just situated just fine with the wall, you can put your hand on the wall too, or on the floor. And now we're going to press into that right foot. Lift your chest up, and then really push the elbow into the leg and the leg into the elbow there, and squeeze that right buttock. Turn your chest away. So have your mind be primarily in that action that's happening in the right buttock. Draw the head of the femur down. So draw it down and turn away. If you have a sense of moving away down here and externally rotating that femur head. And then release. And then stretch the leg out. Draw in. Pull this apart here. And set this up for your second side. I'm going to come forward and look at you now. Really get the idea that there's this, as though there was something drawing down into that hip socket, drawing down, and then squeeze. So you're pushing your left foot down, push your elbow against your left knee, and turn. Chest up, lift up your rib cage. And the long leg should be very firm. It's a danda leg, stick leg, wood. Okay, and then release and relax. Next we're going to do Baddha Konasana with the feet against the wall, and then from there, Supta Padangusthasana 1 and 2. You're going to have support underneath your hips. So if you're tight, you may want to have quite a high support, such as a bolster or a thickly rolled blanket. If you're open in the hips, you'll need a smaller roll. I'll show you my setup, and then I want you to get yourself set up, and then I'll show you what we're going to do. So you can kind of look as you're getting your things ready. You'll need to have your feet against the wall. You'll need your strap. Keep the loop in your strap. I would recommend that you have 2 blankets that you can use. I'm going to roll my blanket just halfway like this longwise. But if you're tight in the hips, you may want to roll it all the way up like this so that it's thicker. So you have this much support underneath your hip joint. Underneath your thigh, actually. I'm laying it down right next to where I think my hips are going to be. Then if you like to have some kind of support under your head and neck, you can take that too, but that's optional. Not anything super high, just a little bit for comfort. I think most of you all are okay without anything. Okay, so here's all the things I need. I'm going to take this strap and make it small. You know, Bobby had us double up a strap like this. I found it to be difficult to keep the strap in the proper place that way, so I'm gonna shorten up my strap and have a single one here and see how it goes. All right, so here we go. Come forward and take a look so you know what to do. Because once I'm done showing, I'm going to be watching you the whole time. I sit down and I put my toes against the wall like this. So my toe bones are against the wall. Then I'm going to scoot in. So this is individual to each one of you. You know, ideally you're going to get your heels all the way in, so far in that your heels are touching your perineum, but that's not for everybody. And then you can either let this be open, or if you're super open and your knees come right down to the floor, you put a little bit of roll. I found when I did this in the workshop that after a while, I really wanted to have something underneath my leg. And then the other side as well. So you just kind of get that in there, you lie down, and then again, I'm going to scoot my buttocks under again as close as I can. Stretch my arms up. So I'm in the Supta Baddha Konasana here. Oh, I might not be able to see me. Yeah, you can just see me. And then I'll step my foot into the strap. And just as we were focusing on the ball mount of the big toe pressing, we're going to do that now. And I want you to put that strap right over the ball of the toe. So not behind the metatarsal there, or not behind the end of the metatarsal, but right on the very end like that. And then make your loop the correct distance so your arm can be straight and you can do this pulling. Then you're going to actually apply force. You're going to press the ball of your foot into the wall and the ball mount, especially the big toe here, and be in Supta Baddha Konasana 1 with the leg not past vertical but vertical, and pull and draw the waist down. So that's the first part. And then the second part will be to carry this leg pretty much straight out to the side and keep those toes, keep the knee forward. So not to turn the leg way out like we sometimes do, but keep it straight ahead, bring it out. And now here's the work of the pose. You stretch, you push the ball mounds into the strap in the wall, and you open it up across your hips. Now, if you're tight, what you want to do here is to not take the leg out as high here, and you're going to perhaps have a little bit higher here. Or you can just let this go and let this be a kind of a ballast for you. And then you'll bring this back up and then set it up again. Okay, so let's go with that. This is for opening up the hips. Now for Joe and Colette, you were in class with Bobby and me the other day, and so you may be thinking, oh no, not this again. I'm sore on the inside, but let's just see what you can do here. So first of all, get in your Baddha Konasana, scoot your buttocks forward and see how it feels. And again, Jesse, if you don't have, the requisite props, that's okay. And you can just take hold of your toe you can do the ring grip with your hands too. And Jody, I can't see you, so I don't know if you can flip your iPad or whatever it is lower so I can see you, or else bring it down on the floor. That might work better. I could probably see you if you just put it down on the floor, if that's possible. Okay, now, Joe, if you want to do something different, if you want to put your legs up the wall and slide your heels along the wall, you could do that. If you want to not do Baddha Konasana at all and just have both legs up the wall and then just have your legs go out into Upavishta, you could do that too, if that feels better. Okay? Yeah, whatever you want to do. All right, because what we're trying to do here is open the hips. All right, so now Stretch your arms overhead first and get long. Take a breath in, exhale, press the feet into one another. And you should feel there's a movement there and opening up across the pelvis and into the wall. And then exhale and press your waist to the floor. All right. And now roll your right knee up and extend your leg and step into your strap. Adjust the loop of your strap. Put it right over the ball of your big toe. The whole ball, but the mound of the big toe. And then do not pull your leg forward of vertical. So it's hard to tell when you're lying on your back where vertical is. So I can see that Colette, you're vertical, and Jody, you're past vertical. So you need to bring your foot back towards the, right there. Now you're vertical, good. Now, once you get vertical, that's it, Jesse, good. Now everybody really press your big toe ball mound into that strap and tighten up your knee and see if you can make it as long as you can, and at the same time press the ball of your Baddha Konasana foot into the wall. And press both your buttocks, put your mind into your buttocks right now and see if they're evenly on the floor, because they may not be. All right, now take a breath in and then press that right foot into the strap and swing the leg out to the side. Have some control there. Extend your left arm out to the other side. Keep your buttocks, both your buttocks evenly on the floor as possible, and stretch away. Take a breath in. You can subside a little bit your effort, a little bit of softening there, not to bend the knee, but just to let it go a little bit. Exhale and apply pressure again. Open up both legs, soften the throat and the face. So be aware of that tendency for that tension to creep into the face and the neck, and let it go so that you get a nice blood flow to your head and your blood pressure doesn't go soaring. Good. And then now bring that leg back up, bring it up, straighten it away, good. And then draw your right shoulder down to the floor so your clavicles are broad, your collarbones are broad. Then release the leg. Okay, and then come back into your Supta Baddha Konasana. Scoot your buttocks in if you may have gotten a little bit far away. Kind of take hold of the mat either down by your hips or above your head and scoot your butt in so that you get as close to the perineum with your heels as you can. Stretch your arms overhead. Take a breath in. Exhale. Feel that length that you got in your whole body and the approaching closeness of the sideways to the floor. Kind of a hollowing out from below the floating ribs down through the bowl of the pelvis there. And you can feel the width of the pelvis as well as the length. Okay, and then roll up your left knee and pick it up and step into your strap and play out that strap. Make sure that the ball of the big toe is pressing firmly into the center of the strap, that it hasn't escaped. That's it. And if possible, just adjust if you didn't already, adjust that loop so that you can just hang that left arm on the loop. You just hook your fingers over. So the whole arm is, you're working from the shoulder socket, from the shoulder blade, the left shoulder blade, to draw that collarbone out, make your chest wide and draw the shoulder blades down. Legs still straight up. Give yourself enough strap there. And now go to the side. Bring that leg out to the side. Good. Keep resisting with that right knee. Keep both buttocks evenly on the floor. Push the ball of your foot into the strap. Yep, so Jesse, press your foot into the strap. Make the ball of your foot go farther away than the heel of your foot. Long foot. Jody, you too. Come on, press your foot like you're standing in a high heel. Press the ball of the foot forward. And then when you inhale, soften that effort a bit. And then exhale, press. So to me, when I press, I feel it comes from my hip socket. It comes from my buttock muscles. It goes all the way down through, and then it kind of rebounds back up from the ball of my foot and comes all the way into my groin. All right, and I'll bring it back up. And then soften your knee and bring both of your knees to your chest. Give a hug and roll to your side. And now we're going to do child's pose and then downward facing dog. So I want you to start by sitting on your heels in Vajrasana, and be close to your wall so that you can do your down dog with your heels against the wall for some support. Have your tops of your feet down like you usually do. And if you can sit right down on your heels with nothing underneath, then do that. Go back up so that maybe your toes are touching the wall, but maybe they're just a little bit away. Now you can have something for your head to go on if you like. It's kind of nice to do that, especially if it's not easy for you to come down. But start with your knees together, like this. Sit straight and tall. Squeeze the buttock bones together and press your shins down. And reach your arms up into Urdhva Hastasana. Stretch up. Bring the thumbs back. If you're close enough to the wall, you may be able to touch the wall behind you. Try to do that with your armpits opening up rather than just rotating and lifting the chest. Let's try to get the armpits to open. Now, come forward and place your hands on the floor here with the knees still together, and spread your fingers and push through the rims of your hands, the underside knuckles of your hands. And then lift your buttocks up slightly, then swivel your knees out, and then sit back again. Press the roots of your back thighs into your heels now, and walk your hands forward. Keep the abdomen lifting up back there, and walk or creep your hands forward. And then I put something for my forehead down here to rest my forehead on so that I can really feel that opening up and that lengthening of the side body. Lengthen away. Now rock, once you get out to full extension of the arms, rock your hands up and press the heels of your hands forward. So you really feel that the armpits are opening up. Do this to the extent that you can, given the situation with your shoulders. And then roll your hands back down, and they're way out there now. But as you exhale, push down on the floor and draw the shoulder blades into your ribs, and you'll feel that your chest moves down toward the floor. So we're getting that suppleness of the upper back body. Exhale, armpits stretching. Come on down with the chest. Lift your upper arms and your elbows up, and let the chest move down toward the floor. Head down on the floor or the brick. That's it. Good, Jessie. Yep. Long back of the neck. All right, and now we're going to come into downward dog. So now come up on your hands and knees, curl your toes under, lift your heels, press your heels into the wall, and come into Adho Mukha Svanasana. That same action of the chest that you were doing, moving it, towards the floor. Now move it, take that same piece of action and move the chest towards your legs. Let that neck be soft. Open up those armpits. Let's see if you can just wriggle your feet, walk your balls of your feet a little bit farther away from the wall. You can really scrub your heels down the wall. As you lift your buttocks, scrub your heels down the wall. Even if they don't move, just get them to scrub. Swivel your heels out a little bit so there's a slight feeling of the pigeon toe, the inward turning toes. Well, that allows you to access the inner groins. Lift those hips, those sit bones up. Good. And then from here, walk forward and out so that your feet are as wide as your mat. as wide as your mat. And then bring your hands or your fingertips down to the floor. Lift the kneecaps up and release the head, the neck, the rib cage down. Sit bones up, upper body down. Kneecaps up, back waist over the top, let it go. Then bring your hands to your hips. Inhale and stand yourself up. Up you go. And then just be in Tadasana. You can have your feet together or distance apart. Stretch the fingers down, be tall. Let's be tall here. Okay, and then release. All right, let's take Shirshasana now. And for this Shirshasana, do as you normally would do. We'll just do a straight one, no turns, no ekapada. Just be in your Shirshasana. You walk your feet forward. Colette, I can't see your base. I wonder if you can come down and rock the your camera forward a little bit so I can see your hands and your elbows. Jody, I can't see your base either. You know what you could do is maybe, I don't know if you've got an iPad or something. Oh, there you go. Yeah, lift it up just a little bit. Wait, come back, Jody. Okay, I'll tell you when to stop. Stop. Okay, that's good. Yeah, so I can see the front of your mat. Okay, that looks good, Colette. Oh, Jesse, I missed your coming up, but it looks good. Yeah, well, it looks good. Okay, so when you get up, the first thing to attend to is your base. And you should have a sense that there's a reaching from the inner armpit along that tricep into the elbow. So there's that stretching on the tricep side of your arm from the armpit to the elbow. Do that now and then press your forearms down. And the elbows can be, you know, initially we say, oh, elbows as wide as the shoulders. They can be a little bit wider than the shoulders. So that the inner elbow is about as wide as the outer armpit. That allows you to spread your chest a bit more. And then take those, oh, Jesse, you're coming down already? Okay, good, press, press, press. Good. Okay, that was nice. And rest out, here you go. All right, okay, so I'm gonna look back at those folks who are still up now. Yeah, Joe, elbows, let's see. Yeah, it looks really good. How does it feel in your shoulders, Joe, if you bring your elbows a little bit closer together? Does it feel worse or better? I don't know. Oh, you like it really wide. Oh, just hanging, huh? Okay. But then it looks like you kind of slumped a little bit, so I don't know. Oh, down you come. Okay, come on down, take a rest.
So Nancy, I'm in that headstander, so I'm still trying to figure out exactly where to put my arms and such, but we don't have to bore the class with that. But
well, in your headstander, okay, so your headstander doesn't have any handles on it, is that correct?
No.
Okay,
Correct.
All right. Oh yeah, I see, okay. Yeah. So does it work for you to come down and hold on to the front legs of it or not?
Yes, yes.
See, to me, I think that would be good because then you can press and, you know, maybe you can figure out a way to put some bricks or something in me. So not only you're hanging here, but you got something to press onto.
Press your arm.
Yeah,
press
maybe.
The forearms into.
Oh, well, that would be even better. But I was just thinking the fist part here, but maybe not. But at least get a good grip on it. If you want, if you're done, that's fine.
No,
But
that's
I'm
fine.
thinking.
I have enjoyed using this. It just allows me a longer duration. And
Yeah.
I think I get the benefit, but I'm not feeling it so much in my neck and shoulders.
That's good. Okay, now everybody's down now, so that's great. We're all down. And so now from here, everyone, let's come on up and let's take a supported Viparita. Joe, we're not going to go back up into Shirshasana unless you want to. Viparita Dandasana now. And so if you, Jesse, I don't know what you've got for a chair there, but if you don't have a chair you can do cross bolsters or Setu Bandha Sarvangasana. So if you have a chair, Jesse, let me see what you got so that I can see how it looks. So here's what I would like for you all to set up. Fold your mat in half twice. Put a sticky mat on your chair. And be able to slide your chair out. I suggest that you make a channel of a blanket to support your spine. You could do, if you wanted to be higher, you could do a triple fold. So I have this, and then I'm doing an accordion fold like that. So it's a 3-way fold. That gives me somewhat of a lift here. And then I'm putting a bolster underneath my chair so that my head will be supported. And you know, if you had 2 bolsters, you could use 2 bolsters as well. But I'm also putting another blanket on top, just on the end, so that I know I'm going to have a pretty good height underneath my head and neck. Now, if you prefer to let your neck hang, that's okay, but you know, there is definitely a difference. I'd like you to start with something underneath your head and neck at first so you can tell the difference between a stretched front of the neck and a not so stretched front of the neck. It makes a big difference to the ease of the pose. So it'll be something like this. And then also, if you know your low back and you know you'll feel better with your feet up the wall a little bit, then you can put your bricks against the wall, or just situate yourself so you can just put your feet right against the wall. Or you might have a chair that you can rest them on. So all these things, you know, there's so many ways to do these types of poses. This is a supported back bend here. So I'm sitting on my little narrow uplift and coming buttocks through like we do. I'm starting pretty close to the wall, knowing that I'm going to move out. I'm eventually going to be there. And then I come over. Now I'm looking for my support with my occiput. So even though it's like I have eyes in the back of my head, I'm looking for it. And the skin is really drawn nicely by this uplifted blanket here. It's really catching the medial edges of my scapula, so it feels good. And now there's my head. So you can see, you know, my head's hanging back, but not as much as it normally would do. I'm not coming over as much as I could do or would otherwise do. And now I put my feet flat on the wall and press those thighs down. Press the thighs down. Now what to do with the arms here? They can be like this, pretty closed up here. Slide down. This feels really nice. I can take the outer sides of my shoulder blades into the chair. I get a nice spreading of the chest. You can also come under like this and draw down. Then just be there. And then you can, you know, if you want to, you can take off and see, well, how is it now? Well, it's a lot, there's a more constriction in the throat this way, so a little bit more tightness, like that. And then to come up, of course, you know, to push yourself back and come up, leading with the chest. All right, now I'm going to come out and see what Jesse's doing. It looks good, Joe. So Jody, I want you to come back up because you're going into it a different way so that you're not going to achieve that pulling of the skin. Yeah, that looks good, Jesse. So scoot your butt forward so your butt's hanging down on the other side of the chair so that you have to have that scrubbing going on. Okay, now put your hands on the chair back. Okay, now without going to either side, push yourself over that chair, push. And come on, curl your chest over, let it, that's enough. Let it drop down. There you go, good, that's it right there. Now put your feet on the wall. Up high, put your feet on the wall, flatten them. Good, now push through the balls of your feet. Push the balls of your feet into the wall. Now if you feel like, oh, I wish I had my heels on the wall, then take this opportunity now and sit up and scoot in a little bit and then do it all again. But if you're happy like that, I like that. That looks really good. Okay, and let me see Colette. Colette, your neck is really stretched a lot. I want you to, did you start with something under your head before? No? Okay. So can you please bend your knees, put your feet on the floor, scoot up, and then come on up, and now see if you can reach that blanket to the left of you there. Can you get it? Yeah, and keep it folded like that, double folded. Yeah, and then even higher would probably be better. Make it high, make it a wad, yeah. Yeah. And then come on, scoot your chair out more. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, even up. Now tuck your chin up a bit. Tuck your chin up and then come back down. So I want it to be more, not on the crown of your head. So this is to be not on the crown of your head. It should be towards the occiput, halfway between the crown and then the occiput. Yeah. And just to see how it feels, you know, it's a little bit softer on the neck in this way, isn't it? Yeah. You may not like it, but now you know the difference. And you can slide your feet down and push the balls of your feet into your bricks and your heels on the floor. See how that is. That may be too low for you, I don't know. All right, okay. And now everyone come up and then take your chair bar Advajasana. Slide your feet in. That looked good, Colette, nice. Okay, so now here we are sitting on the chair. Take your turns to the right and the left 2 times each. Remember to draw up your abdomen, move the navel back toward the back waist. That's good. All right. And then climb out of your chair there. Okay. All right, now let's see if we can do this this drapage thing that we did with Bobby. And I don't know if everyone has enough stuff, but I thought it was really cool. So you can keep your bricks on the wall if you like, and then take your sticky mat, put it over your chair. I'm folding this blanket. This is like a Shirshasana blanket. I'm folding it in half so it's thick, like this. So it's a thick one here. And then I'm draping it over the top of my chair, just like that. And I'm going to do another one too. So I'm going to make it really high. This is going to be a thing for opening up the back waist. So it's a nice antidote to doing back bends. Here's this one. And over it goes. I got 2 big, thick ones. And the way I want to do this, and the height, is so that if I lift up on my toes, I can drape over like this, and I can actually hang. You can see my toes are off the floor. You might need to have a little bit of height up on the brick. Then anything extra that you have, you can put on your chair to fill in. So I've got a bolster here, and I'm going to take another blanket, triple fold it, stack it on top. Another one, you might have cushions too, like if you have a long throw pillow for your couch or something like that, or even just a firm pillow would work really well. Something like this, filling in. I'm gonna be down, put my feet down here on my bricks and climb up, pull the chair in, then come on out and over. I'm hoisting myself up, so my belly's not caught, but it's lying on the downside of this whole package here. And then I come down so you can see my chin. My chin is on the bolster. Now, if you don't have a bolster, if you have blankets or whatever, that's fine. And then I'm just hanging. It feels great because it's really opening up right here. I have a sense of spaciousness in the back body. So you can always adjust a little bit so it feels really comfortable. And if you're well endowed in the chest, you can organize your cushions and your props on the front side, so you have a little shelf there for the breasts to fit in. And then, yes, the chin will be, resting on something. So there is a kind of a bit of stretching of the front of the throat, but it should all feel soft and very comfortable. Just let yourself hang. And you may have just the right piece of furniture at your house, like an overstuffed chair or something that you could drape yourself over. You may know something else that you've got that is just perfect for something like this. So it's really nice and soothing. Let go of your face, your jaw, your arms, your shoulders. Just exhale, let go. And then inhale and come on up and out of there. Out of there. Go. You can take off the blankets from your chair. Move your chair around. Back your buttocks up to the wall. Spread your feet apart in Prasartha Padottanasana. And then you can put your head down. You can use any height that you like or none. Head down on the chair, extend the arms through like this. Now we've got a little bit more vigorous an extension going on here, but a really nice pressure downwards on the forehead. Alternatively, you can just have a blanket on the chair, same thing, drawing the abdomen up and in. You can put the blanket over the top of the chair, and then do something like this, or hands like this. So this is really about the lengthening the frontal body and that pressure on the forehead. Relax your jaw when you get there. Firm the legs. Buttocks against the wall, Colette, and feet away from the wall. Colette, walk your feet about, 4 or 6 inches away from the wall, so you're definitely sitting back against the wall. That's it. Make sure that your neck is long, back of the neck long, so that you can relax your jaw, your tongue, your throat, your brain. Jody, do you have, it looks to me like you got your heels against the wall. Walk your feet away from the wall. So there's a gap between your feet and the wall. Oh yeah, they're a little bit. Can you, Jody, can you walk your feet closer towards your chair, farther from each other and closer to the chair so that your butt is definitely leaning on the wall? And walk your feet away from the wall. At least as far away as your feet are long. There you go. Yeah, no, just kind of rock back into the wall. There you go. That's it. Everybody, keep lifting your kneecaps up. All right. And then you can come on up from there. Now, let's take a lying down supine postures. Let's do a couple of them here. Make a support for your back body. It can either be a bolster or 2 or 3 blankets folded lengthwise. So either blankets like this or your bolster. I'll just use blankets since I think more we have blankets. Jesse, if you don't have anything, that's okay. We're going to start by sitting in Virasana. I'm putting a little bit of a lift under mine like this. I have a little brick to sit on for my Virasana. If you cannot do a Virasana, if this doesn't work for you, you can just simply extend your legs out or have them in simple cross legs. That's where I'm going to be. I'm kneeling down, making space, sitting in my Virasana. Here, need a bit more height, so I'm going to flip up my brick. That's one option you can do. When I lie back in the Supta Virasana, I don't need as much height under my buttocks, so I can flip it back down. The other thing that you can do is to just back up and sit on your setup for your Supta Virasana. This will become, though, the support from your waist upwards. So sitting in Virasana, press the shins down. Now I'm going to come forward and put my brick back under. Lean back. Before we go back, we're going to do a Purvottasana type action here. I'm going to roll my shoulders back, lift my chest, look up, lift my buttocks up, which takes my tailbone in, and then bend the elbows to come down. And Joe, you may not be able to do that because of your shoulders, but if you can do it, put your tailbone in a nice position, and then you lie back. The knees may pop up a little bit, but then come down and arrange. and see how you feel. You may feel like, oh, no, there's something wrong here. I need more support underneath my low back. My head's too high. That's what I'm kind of feeling right now. So I'm going to come up. It's a little bit of a, trial and error thing, unless you know you've done this so many times, you've got this down, you know exactly what you need. You have to kind of take it as it comes, and then lie back. The chin should not be thrown way back. It should be neutral to a little bit of a tuck toward the clavicles there. Yep. Yeah, Jody, it looks to me like, oh, that's pretty good. Oh, your knees are popping up though. Do you have anything more like a, I think if you had another cushion like that, you could put on top, make it a little bit higher, that might help. Or if you wouldn't sit on your brick, that would help too, if your knees can take it. Yeah, Colette, that looks really good. Very nice, Colette. This is a pose that bears staying in. This one can do. Yeah, there you go, Jody. That's better now. Yeah, if you take your brick out and scoot forward so you're sitting more on the floor if your knees can handle it. Let your tailbone drop down. Drop, drop, drop. Can you get your buttocks even off the first cushion? Yeah. How is it on your low back? Is it okay? All right. And then you can put your hands on your heels if you like and press. Once again, this is a position where, as you be there, it should get nicer and nicer. If it doesn't, you need to come out and make some adjustments. So don't just grit your teeth and stay there. If you're uncomfortable, you have to come up. Okay, when you're done, yeah, make some adjustments and try again. That's good because you learn that way what you need to be able to do this with comfort. And your body will relax into it if you've got enough support. If you don't, it's not going to relax. Jesse, okay, I'd say for you you had a nice build up there, but it looked to me like you could tuck your tail under a little bit more. So will you lie back again? Lie back again. Yeah, first here. Yeah, first now roll your shoulders back, lift your chest, and tuck your tail way under. Tuck it under. Okay, good. Now sit down with your tailbone tucked under. Bend your elbows. Yeah, okay. Now be down. Now how does that feel different? Yeah, and that looks better too. That looks better. See, this is a different pose than Paryankasana, which is doing what you were doing before at the anterior tilt. This one, you're supposed to be pretty flat line from the knees up through the chest. All right. Let me see. Okay. All right, everybody. Now you can bring yourself up. And then if you need to crawl forward, bring your toes together, knees apart, and take child's pose. So yes, the knees will still be bent, but you're going to be folding in the hip socket. Do that and stretch yourself out. Take child's pose, reach ahead, hands down. Or you can turn around and hug the bolsters too in your child's pose. Either way is fine. All right. And then inhale, come up. And now I'd like you to do Ardha Halasana. And this, how you do it depends on what kind of chair you have and what your setup is. So let me give you a couple of options. Ideally, you'll do it in a chair, but if you don't have a chair that works for you, you can roll back to the wall and put your feet on the wall. So I'm going to show that one first, and then with the chair. The most important thing if you're going to do this one is to get the correct distance away from the wall. So the correct distance is about like this. The thickest part of my thighs on the edge of the blanket, my feet are right against the wall. I have 4 blankets here, got plenty of height. I sit on my launching pad, I lie back, occiput on the floor, 2 inches between the blankets and my shoulders. I roll back, I put my feet on the wall, elbows down, and I'm in place like that. So this is not quite as lovely as the chair supported, but it's still pretty darn good. And then when you come down, you simply go back like this and be in a nice Setu Bandha Sarvangasana like that. If you have a chair to use, I would recommend that you do that. You use that chair. In that case, you put the chair right against your setup here, like this. And then you need to have some height underneath the chair. You can use a bolster. Something like this works great. But if you don't have all this stuff, which I know a lot of you don't, then you can, let's say you just have 2 blankets. Fold them lengthwise like this. Put them right up against the chair like this. This will be for your shoulders. And take a brick. Use a brick for your landing pad like that. And then, if you had cushions or pillows or anything like that, you could put them on here. But if you don't, let's say you have another couple of blankets, you can put the blankets up just like this. You can go this way, either way is fine. Build it up, and you come into the pose. So that ideally, once you get up, okay, here I am, right under my chair. I'm going to move this back so it's under my sacrum. So the block doesn't have to be against the blankets, that's to be under my butt. So here I am. So I come up, and I get my feet through that chair right away. I come all the way up, and I walk in so that my belly is touching the chair, and the roots of my thighs are lifted up as high as they can go. Now my feet are on the wall too, which is kind of like a bonus, but ideally my feet are below my hips. And then I can let my arms go this way or this way, but I need to stay on my blankets. Then to come down, I just push the chair this way, roll down, and then I come into this Setu Bandha Sarvangasana and lie out. Let's see, Jody, walk your feet up the wall a little bit more. Yep, there you go. And it would be good if you had more height underneath your shoulders. So, let's see what you have there. It's a little bit better, but your torso is not vertical, it's way back. So that means you need to get more height underneath your shoulders. Can you roll down and let me see how you can manipulate your stripy blanket or towel that you have? Jode, can you roll down? Take that towel and fold it again in half. Good. And then do the same thing with the other one that's underneath you. Fold it again in half. Okay. And now, yeah, center it and then put that other one on top with the folded edge on the other side. Yeah. Now see, maybe that gives you a little bit more height. Okay, now see what you got. This may allow you to get straight up. Yeah, now your shoulders, walk your shoulders back toward the, yeah. So the head, okay, go, go, go. Up and up and up you go. Yeah, that's better. You're almost there. Yeah. Put your heels on the wall and lift your thighs up. And bend your elbows and put your hands on your back. Yeah, and the problem here is that your elbows are off. But if you had, you know what you could do is, if you didn't want to put a belt around your elbows, if you had 2 bricks, you could put 1 brick under each elbow. And then you could press down on your elbow. That'd be nice. See if you can find it. I know it's all this trial and error stuff, isn't it? Yeah. If they're the same height. Yeah. Bring it right down to the corners. Right down to that cushion, because that seemed like that's where your elbows were. Yeah. Okay, now try. There you go. That looks better, huh? Nice. That looks good. Okay. It's not about the feet being up high. Actually, yeah, have the legs be parallel to the floor. There you go. Good. Okay, let me see. Yeah, Jesse, you're not quite vertical. I think you're too close to the wall. I think you gotta go away from the wall about an inch or so. Try that. So you can roll up on your shoulders more. Okay, Colette, let's see what you got there. Yeah, you got lots of height, maybe even too much under your shoulders, I don't know. But and your body is not vertical. You want to have your upper body vertical if possible. So I think you have maybe too much height. Okay. All right, I think we kind of sort of solved it for most of you. So now everybody come on down and then scoot yourself so your head and your shoulders are on the floor. Extend your legs out and lie in Setu Bandha. Yeah, and Cole, I think you could see it was too high because you had to shove one of those blankets off there. So that was it. That told the story. Good. And then open up and relax. Okay, now give yourself another 30 seconds or so. And when you're ready, you can put yourself into Shavasana. Okay. We'll go ahead and lie flat. Take the support that you need, though. You don't have to lie absolutely flat. That's only really when we've been doing pranayama. And that's like closing the book and the practice. If you want to take anything under your head, your neck, your knees, or your back, you can take it. Things to look for again are being even on your mat, if you're using a mat, even weight on both sides of the body, the 2 buttocks, the 2 shoulders, the 2 arms, the 2 heels, the backs of your hands, the sides of your head. And that you're long in the back neck and long in the back waist. Now, once you're there, you feel that you're level, you're even, then see if you feel that you have a sense of spaciousness along the shoulders, the side neck and the shoulders. Are the shoulders creeping up around your ears? If they are, roll the shoulders under, draw them away slightly. Reach the arms out for a sense of lateral spaciousness. And then let go. Settle yourself into your Shavasana by taking a couple of big breaths. Regular speed, nice and full inhalation, and then slowly exhale. Long, slow, smooth exhalation. And regular breath. And then perhaps one more time, a deeper breath in, and then a long, slow, smooth exhalation. And these exhalations really allow that parasympathetic nervous system to do its work of opening up the blood vessels so that your blood pressure goes down. It may allow you to feel a sense of expansiveness in your head, physical expansiveness across the forehead, the eyebrows. To come out of your Shavasana, do the same thing. Take a deep breath, and then as you exhale, you start to move. Bend the limbs. Open your eyes. Let the light come in. Roll to your side and release once more.